Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another counter side video. Alright, today's video we're going to talk about perhaps the upcoming unit that a lot of you guys have been waiting for. And that is none other than Replacer King. Now, I'm not 100% certain on this. I do not have any confirmation whatsoever. Obviously, we're going to have to wait for at least 2 more days to find out whether or not it's actually going to be Replacer King. But for now, I just want to talk about him in this video and give you guys a context of how strong Replacer King is. I've never done a Replacer King video in my, on the channel. And I'm sure some of you guys might be wondering how strong is he generally. If you guys are not aware, Replacer King is one of the few only awakened character to basically be introduced in a counter pass, right? So as you can see right now, at the time of me recording this video, the counter pass, Lily counter pass right now has 1 day left. It's like one to 2 days left before it expires completely. So once this Lily counter pass is gone, it's going to be replaced by a new counter pass, and very likely, very high chance there's going to be a Replacer King counter pass. So let's give you guys an idea of how strong he is in the meta right now. Now, first things first, this guy is cool as heck. Look at this. Like, when I look at him, he reminds me of the old Kamen Rider villain. I used to watch those Kamen Rider and their villains look like this dude, man. Like, legit, it's insane. Alright, he definitely has that vibe to it. Like, he's really, prominent, really strong. Ideally, he's regarded as one of the strongest Awakened units in the game. So, he sort of dethroned Awakened Nayubin in a way. Like, a lot of people, when Awakened Nayubin first came out, Awakened Nayubin was really strong in KR server, but once Replacer King comes out, he slowly replaces Awakened Nayubin. Now, what do I mean by slowly? In KR server, when Replacer King was first released, he wasn't that strong. Alright, after that, they introduced a new ship, Blue Bridge Mark II, alongside with a few adjustments to this character, and he became really strong, really broken. In fact, he's used more often than Awakened Nayubin, in a way. Alright, so let's talk about his kit and why is he strong. Ideally, if you know how or why he's strong, basically that's how you want to fight against him or try to counter him. So if you look at the stats, this is where we're going to try to observe a little bit. As you can see, he has pretty decent HP right there at 82,000 HP. So that's not bad. Obviously, if you want to go for full HP, he can easily reach 100k HP. No problem whatsoever. But despite him being a tank, despite him being a 6-cost defender, he's a counter, by the way, he's not a soldier, but he fits very well in soldier teams. His role doesn't really fit into a tank sort of role. You want to protect him and not let him die in a very weird way. I know it's really weird because like that's usually for snipers or for rangers, but for Replacer King, you want to defend him, not let him die so that he can spam his skill more often. So as you can, we'll get into that in a while, but for now, 4.2k for attack, 1.8k defense, not bad. He's pretty tanky on his own, so he has the rest of the stats, not the best. Alright, 228 for evasion is whatever. So now let's jump into skills. Alright, so we're gonna use spriteone.co for this particular skill database. So first things first, we're gonna look at the passive skill. This is where it gets really interesting. Look at this. Swings his fist, inflicting AoE damage on enemies in front. The passive buff uncaps this skill's valid hits and range. Now, if you guys are not familiar with what this means that his basic attack will have unlimited range. He will also have unlimited valid hits. Alright, it uncaps this. So by default, valid hit of 2. So if you look at his passive skill, right, increases damage resistance by 30%, so that's quite a lot of damage resistance, and becomes immune to hit stun from special or lower skills for 6 seconds when a non-mag ally unit dies. Alright, so keep that in mind. So if a soldier counter dies, he will gain buffs. Basically immune to hit stun, from special or lower skills. 6 seconds, not bad actually. Summons up to 1 replacer that matches this ally's role. Ally dies, he will summon a replacer in the ally's place. If it's an ally striker, it will be an ally replacer. That's why this guy is so good with Blue Bridge Mark II, because that ship summons a bunch of soldiers. If you guys are not aware what Blue Bridge Mark II does, I've already done a video about it about like 2-3 months ago, I think. So feel free, I'll link it right here as well. In the description, you guys can check it out. So supported tower siege excluded. This summon unit is immune to hit stun from special skills. Alright, loses 2% of HP every second, the replacer that this guy summoned, and cannot be healed. Makes sense, or else they'll be very, very broken. So if you look at this guy, right? At level 5, his and all other replaces attack and damage resistance plus 20% while in the field. So that is really high. So he gets a lot of attack boosts, a lot of damage resistance buff, you know. That's why the common build, which we're going to talk about later, is either you go for skill haste for this guy or attack speed, which we're going to explain later on. Alright, as you can see, ground ravager, this is the special skill. Alright, forcefully strikes the ground with his fist, inflicting AoE damage on surrounding enemies, forcing them to attack him. So basically taunt for 6 seconds and stun surrounding targets for 1 second. So at skill level 5, it will debuff the enemy target's attack by half, 50% for 6 seconds. So jump into it. Let's show you guys. Look at this. Zzz. Ooh, that is an insane entrance animation. So this is a special skill. Look at that. Look at that special skill. So that is pretty crazy. So he just smashes the ground. It's similar to the regular the BBC. Regular BBC also has this skill, right? So exactly the same animation if I'm not mistaken. So now let's talk about the ultimate skill. Dimensional Calamity, 4 valid hits, 48 seconds, not bad. Quickly charges back and forth, creating a wind that inflicts AoE damage on the enemies in front. Immediately, alright, cancels all debuffs cast on himself. So not bad right there, as you can see. Bunch of damage, immune to all non-permanent debuffs for 15 seconds. Hopefully you guys are able to tell. The special skill basically taunt and has stun for 1 second. Not too broken, has a bit of debuff as well. A lot of things going on right here. Ultimate skill is where he just charges back and forth. Let me show you guys. Basically what does it mean by charges back and forth? He will basically dash forward, go backward, and do a bunch of damage. So that's the ultimate skill. It's just mostly for CC, right? Just go there, and then the enemy that's in the range will get that. A bunch of hit stun in the process along the way. So, looking at this skill right here, you know, the special and ultimate is not his strongest suit. What makes him really, really unique is the passive, where he's really tanky. And every time an ally dies, he summons Replacer. This passive is what makes him broken. Alright, he can summon Replacer in the ally's place. Basically, essentially your ally has 2 lives. So almost, sort of. And if you go up, it basically synergizes with the basic attack. The passive buff uncaps this skill's valid hits and range. What that means? Your Replacer King can be all the way at the left side, and when he punches the enemy, he will be able to hit all the way at the back. He will be able to hit the snipers. At the back of the ship, he will be able to kill a bunch of other enemy units, which makes Replacer King really, really strong, really, really broken. As you can see, while he's hitting the enemy, his attack speed is really slow. Right, you can see, he's hitting the enemy, his attack speed is really slow. A lot of KR players have, came out with a build that attack speed seems to be the most optimal build for Replacer King. It's either attack speed build or skill haste to use his ultimate more often. Ideally, you don't want him to die, you want to protect him so that he has this unlimited range so he can hit all the way back. I can't really show it right here because there's only one enemy right now, but trust me, if he was here at the left side of the screen and there's an enemy on the left side of the screen, this guy would receive the damage as well, as long as constantly there's allies dying. Now, how strong is he in PvE, right? PvE wise, for Replacer King, I would say this guy, he'll get a couple of usage in Shadow Hall. He'll get a couple of usage in the harder contents of the PvE, maybe in the Danger Close as well, right? Danger Close is quite strong apparently. Definitely Replacer King is more of a PvP unit and it's going to be quite strong. And if you're free to play, unfortunately, he's going to be a counterpass exclusive for the time being until he has his own banner. Now that's going to be a while. You guys know once counterpass unit comes out, it's going to be at least 2 to 3 months before you can pull them in their own exclusive banner, right? So yeah, fingers crossed, hopefully Replacer King is actually the next unit that's going to come alongside Replacer Queen. We'll find out in 2 days. Until then, let me know what you guys think. As always, subscribe, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.